If you've been trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother, stick around because in this video, I'm going to try to convince you not to even bother. Full transparency here, I don't think I should be giving you actual reasons why you shouldn't be working to heal the relationship with someone that seems like they hate you, acts like you're their worst enemy, and doesn't want to see you happy because that would set them off in a spiral of jealousy and inferiority. And they also happen to be a person that has the emotional immaturity of a 2-year-old, but can harm you like no other creature on this planet knows how to do. So efficiently, so profoundly, so mercilessly, with the use of maybe a couple words. But for the sake of this video, I will be giving you reasons why I don't think you should be working on trying to heal your relationship with your narcissistic mother. So the conversation around narcissistic parents is a popular one, right? But what we can't seem to do, apparently, those of us talking about it, depending on our credentials, is to tell people to cut off their parents. Because apparently if somebody abuses you, you need to leave them, unless that someone is your parent. And in that case, then you instead need to learn how to forgive, crown yourself as the breaker of generational curses, show understanding, be the bigger person, even if you are literally the youngest one, and then turn yourself into a reliable, patient, and kind retirement plan to your abusers so that the world and this society and Zeus and God, whoever, is going to crown you as the good and worthy daughter that took care of her parents. So I kind of want to break the silence around this topic and tell you up front that I have no personal gain or interest in you being in contact with your abusive parents. What I really have a problem with is abusers getting away with abuse, victims blaming and contorting themselves in order for said abusers to continue to be respected, listened to, and eventually, of course, taken care of. I have a problem with children being completely disrespected in their needs and vulnerable inner world, and then gaslit out of that experience and being called ungrateful for daring to expect more from their parents, meaning more than being fed, clothed, and provided shelter. I have a problem with telling adult children of emotionally immature parents that they should forgive if they want to set themselves free, bringing toxic and patriarchal ideas into spiritual truth-telling, carving these paths where we pretend that we weren't demolished, annihilated even, by those we were supposed to trust the most. And if I had to choose my biggest beef with this whole thing, with narcissistic parents, it would be that I have a problem seeing grown women chase around their toxic mothers to give them the love that she never did and she never will, making her the center of her world, serving her, working hard to teach her how to be a good and loving mother. In the meantime, doubting herself, hating herself, questioning her worth. And I'm also tired of seeing women who are chasing their narcissistic father's love, and their acceptance, their validation, those fathers that you were never good enough for. And then, of course, on top of chasing our parents and their love, we are certainly, without fail, chasing partners that are like those parents. And for the sake of my own doomed orientation, I will say men, we're chasing men who, just like those parents, aren't able to show up to loving us in any way, shape, or form that resembles any type of love other than the one that we received. A critical, conditional, unsafe, mean, and unloving love. I have a problem with the fact that it's not enough that our childhood was so bad. We now as adults have to completely become people again, like start over and recreate ourselves, or else we're doomed in a lifetime of constant rejection, abuse, and feeling unworthy. And as a cherry on the top of all of this, we were programmed through our horrible experience that wasn't that bad, to hate ourselves, blame ourselves, guilt ourselves, in order to continue to serve those who abused us. A life with no self-respect, really, that's what we are raised to exist in, And a woman that doesn't respect herself enough to say, I deserve better when it comes to how she's being treated from her parents will tolerate the absolute bare minimum, an absolute complete worse, and somehow maybe even gaslight herself to be grateful for it. And should she be treated in any type of way that even resembles abuse, she will blame herself for it. She will say, oh, I spoke too much. I said too many things. I complained too much. I let my emotions overtake me. When she just retaliated for a moment there. And of course, when you retaliate, you will experience shaming for retaliating. But you're not the one that should be ashamed. You've been retaliating against abuse. There's an abuser in the room, and that's not you. You're just calling out and reacting to that abuse. But it's somehow made constantly over and over again and painted as if you are the abuser. So what's going to happen, this woman that you will grow into becoming, which is what I really have a problem with in terms of why you shouldn't be continuing to try and build and heal a relationship with your abusive parents, is that a woman coming out of this life, you coming out of the life that you came, it's just like, it's such an unfairness to the greatness that you carry within. You were made to believe that you're unworthy and unlovable and never good enough unless approved by disapproving others, who are more often than not now in your current day-to-day, besides your mother, insecure, mean, toxic, emotionally immature, unaccomplished, and mediocre at best. But you can't really know that, do you? If you were raised to believe you're inherently unworthy, you think that everybody else is worthy, is much more worthy than you, right? And they're in a position to not only exercise the fact that they're superior to you, they are supposed to be the ones that judge whether you are good enough for them. And it's funny. When you have a narcissistic mother, it's all about, am I good enough for her? I'm never good enough for her. And it's never, is she a good enough mother to me? It's never that. Because since kids, we learn to internalize the feelings of others as personal feelings. And it's our fault that people don't love us and don't approve of us. Anyway, so just wanted to give you a bit of a background as to why I think it's important that you stop trying to heal that relationship. Only, not because I have something against the parents, not that I don't have anything against them, but because I have a personal interest to see you and every woman watching these videos reclaim her sense of worth and stand in her power and stop begging for love from unloving people, particularly when these unloving people are your parents. All right, so let's go to the reasons why you don't need to heal your relationship with your narcissistic mother. Number one reason is that she is not going to change. Surprise, you probably already know that. And she's not going to change because she's too old or setting her ways, but she's not going to change because change requires self-reflection. And narcissistic people are not built to self-reflect. Narcissism is a fragile identity built on denial, projection, and control, right? It's an inner structure designed to avoid one thing: shame, toxic shame that they hold within. And if she's to ever feel that shame, she will collapse. So she will have to blame you, have to rewrite the history, make you the villain, right? That's the ridiculous. So many narcissistic mothers, they'll even post on social media, right? And be like, my kids, like as if they're the victims of their kids. Because she does not want to ever sit with what she's done, because she will be so ashamed of herself. She will collapse into that shame. Number two of the reasons why you shouldn't try and heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother is that this woman does not want a relationship with you. She wants a restoration of what worked, which was a power dynamic in which she was always in control of you, right? You're not really her daughter. You're just a possession, an extension of herself. Her second chance at life, right? She wants to either live vicariously through you or see you burn to the ground so that she doesn't have to see you do and experience and have things that she didn't get to do. Because that would wreck her. You know, as Jung very rightly said, the greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of a parent. The narcissistic mother will more often than not resent you for what motherhood took away from her, or what she blames motherhood for not pursuing, right? What she sacrificed for you, or what she just never ended up doing and blamed you for it. Reason number 3 why I think you shouldn't be trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother. You're trying to heal a relationship with somebody that you don't feel safe around, and your body is bracing around her, and you feel uncomfortable. This woman is unsafe, and you know it. Need I elaborate more, right? You're trying to heal the relationship with someone that feels so unsafe because they've been historically unsafe with you, right? This isn't just, oh, I don't know why I'm scared. You know why you're scared. You have an entire life history that you're looking at. And I see it when when women send me their reflections in Heal, specifically in the mother session. There's just so much pain and grief that comes from those sessions that you can see that it felt like the entire childhood, they were just like this pawn and this muppet that she just moved left and right and constantly abused for absolutely no reason. And so blatantly, in many ways, neglected in so important needs that she could have just been nice. It's just, you see, when you hear the stories of other people, you see how easy it would have been for those things to not have happened. And you see how there's a quiet, it's not really quiet, but the underlying sort of pleasure in harming someone so much and feeling so powerful against someone powerless. That is just incredible. So, trying to fix a relationship with people like that have been historically unsafe to you and have a history of hurting you, I don't know. Reason number 4 why I don't think you should be working towards healing the relationship with your narcissistic mother. You're never going to be yourself around her. You're going to continue to perform. And you're either going to perform as this small, edited, and digestible version for themselves, but you're going to try to kind of mother them into becoming better mothers, right? You're going to be too understanding, teach them things, be patient with them. You're going to be the mother of this equation. You're going to start mothering your entitled mother into hopefully showing up like a mother to you. And I don't know how long you think you can keep this up for. And I don't know if you're realizing how much energy this is spending from your energy to really just maintain a good attitude towards life, right? We all have every day we wake up and sometimes we feel the energy to do things and others we don't. We're not talking about just physical energy in terms of like the nutrients that we ingest, but also there's a sense in us that sometimes it feels like it's so hard to go on. It's just putting in effort to do things. And a lot of us carry that sort of sense of being tired because we are working around carrying a lot of grief, and we've already suffered quite a bit for how old we are, right? It's like some children get out of their childhood and they're just happy and energetic. Others come out of our childhood and get depressed because that was a really bad experience. We get post-traumatic stress from having a childhood, right? So eventually when we're spending all this energy into mothering someone and trying to work with someone and doing all this work, we are using up whatever energy we have left that we could have used in order to help ourselves move on and keep going and keep working towards feeling better. And no offense also, who is this woman and why is her approval of so much value besides in the fact that she's an expert in withholding it? Is your narcissistic mother someone you respect, admire, or want to be like? Does this woman you so want to impress you in any way? Or are you just chasing her like a puppy that wants scraps? Number 5, why I don't think you should be working on trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother. This woman will never take accountability. And as I said before, she would rather rewrite your entire history rather than reflect and potentially see that she could be in the wrong. And I don't know what you think you know about healing relationships with people, but healing a relationship with someone means that both of these people who are trying to work on healing their relationship with each other become vulnerable, become honest, they take accountability, they apologize, they change, right? In the case of many daughters of trying to heal the relationship with a narcissistic mother is just they just learn how to walk on eggshells in a way that when they're walking on these eggshells, they don't cry or react when their feet hurt, right? They're just walking around them. They learn how to do that. And they just pretend that none of the things that they're hearing or seeing hurt anymore because now they're healed. So in a way, this healed version of the daughter that comes back to the narcissistic mother is just a daughter with much more capacity to tolerate. And in the name of love and connection and family, she thinks this is how we heal. Well, I used to be like that with my mother, but now I don't let her get to me. You don't let her get to you? I'm pretty sure the things she says, even if you pretend you don't hear them, are always hitting a nerve, and then you go home and cry. I bet you understand that she's continuously poisoning you, no matter how old she is. And then when you leave that place that you're with her, it's very hard to go back to a balance where you think you're worthy and good enough. And when you're allowing her to treat you with so much disrespect and tell you these horrible things that she just blatantly says because that's your mother and that's okay. It's not that serious. It's hard to then go in the office or in relationships and friendships and have people actually respect you because they probably won't, because you probably have a high tolerance for disrespect and a high sort of level of gaslighting yourself that when people are making jokes that are horrible, they're just joking. When they're not, they're just being mean and horrible to you. But you can't really set boundaries when you don't even acknowledge that your boundaries are being violated. Reason number 6 why I don't think you should be trying and working toward healing the relationship with your mother, with your narcissistic mother, is that she treats you like your boundaries are betrayal because she does not respect you. Do you want me to elaborate? She doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect you as a person or a human being. There's no respect towards children in patriarchal societies and narcissistic families as a consequence that are a continuation of that. Because respect is built upon who is the most powerful and should be feared. It's not even respect, really. It's just showing our fear masked as respect. We're just being nice to the mean person and the dangerous person so that they don't harm us. Anyway, so children are not really respected, and they're not seen as someone with their own mind, needs, choices, or limits, which is why she sees every no you say as an insult. I have this theory that most narcissistic parents didn't start by hating their children and the children that they really got really obsessed with hating. They once kind of loved them when they were little, because when they were little, they were just a helpless little child. But the moment you started exhibiting traits of who you were and individuation and independence, and you had an opinion and you said no and all that, they started hating you. That's when everything shifted, which is why so many of these parents would love for you to go back to being helpless so they can kind of activate this type of love that they have, which is really just control. And they love being more powerful than you. They don't want to feel that they're not needed because they feel useless. And they want to be needed by you being a cripple in your life, an emotionally crippled person, that then they blame you for it, but then they'll take you in and then abuse you more. And then you stay into the cycle of never being able to do good enough. And it's never their fault, all right? It's always yours. Reason number 7 why I don't think you should be working towards healing the relationship with your narcissistic mother. This woman will demand your loyalty without giving love. She's incapable of giving love because developmentally she's a child that is entitled to just taking love. She's entitled to your love, your adoration, your devotion, because she was not only kind enough to give you life, but also she kept you in it. You know this horrible saying, right? I brought you into this life and I can take you out, which is a common phrase many parents use, which is God complex at its finest. And it seems like children will always owe more. This debt of life that we were given can never be repaid, no matter how much we endure or we do, unless we stand next to them until the end and tolerate them until the end. Reason number 8 why I don't think you should be working towards trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother is that this woman has never really met or saw the real you. Incapable to do so. She's only seeing a projection of everything she hates about herself, and apparently you're the reason why she's unhappy. She will never want to look at how she's contributing into her own misery, because how on earth would she be able to carry that shame and the responsibility? You're here to be blamed for everything that she couldn't do and to carry everything she hates. And what's really ironic and tragic about this is that many of the things that she projected onto you were not your traits, right? The things she calls you are things that she hates about herself, but then they became things that you believe about yourself. You know, she called you, I don't know, anything. I'm trying to think and just, I don't know. They may call you useless, or you never amount to anything, or you're too messy, or things about the way that you are sort of embracing your nature and your aliveness as a human. She will shame you so much for things that she doesn't accept about herself. But so many of these things are not even your traits. It's just she will label you with things that she hates about herself. And she'll call you fat or disorganized or messy or just all the things that she is. She will call you for being them from such a young age, and then slowly but surely you will turn into those things. You will assimilate all of these things, and you will become those things that you were never those things. She just projected them onto you. She will call you unlovable, and nobody likes you, nobody loves you. All the things that she will say to you from a young age are just projections. And you will absorb them as self-definitions. And this is a person that you want to work on having a relationship with. Has been historically so abusive to you. The last reason number 9, and I think I'm going to wrap it up because not because I'm running out of reasons. I don't think I can ever run out of reasons, but this is just, it's sad that I work with so many women, and in Heal, the women that come to me can be 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or 70, but the mother wound is so powerful in all of them. And it makes me wonder, who would we have been as women if that woman wasn't the way she was to us, right? It's just like the impact of this wound is so massive and long-lasting that our life has been robbed from us and so many opportunities. And anyway, so reason number 9, why I don't think you should be spending any more time trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother. This person that you're trying to reason with and to build a relationship with is in an emotional coma. What do I mean? You're having full-blown dialogues, you're now analyzing yourself, you're breaking down. And she's not even aware you're having a conversation with her, right? You're writing all these essays in your head and you want to tell her all the things that she did to hurt you. And she's just convinced everything's your fault. And you're her victim. She's not just unaware, this woman is completely unavailable. And you're trying to resuscitate someone that is just not there and doesn't want to be there. The narcissistic injury that your mother holds has turned her into someone who does not want to see reality in any other way besides the way that it fits her narrative and the structure of the ego that she built for herself. She needs to be your victim. You need to be the villain. She needs to be the good guy. You need to be the bad guy. Everything needs to be your fault. And she needs to be like this grandiose God that gave you life. And you, an ungrateful piece of something that doesn't seem to respect her for that. You're trying to build a relationship with someone that is not able to see outside of the tight construct that they have and a story that they have, because they are unwilling to see themselves. It's just not something that can be done within someone who is so narcissistic. Yet here you are knocking on all the doors and you're thinking you're making progress, but really, as I said before, many of you, what you have been doing is you've been increasingly more and more tolerant to what she's doing and pretending that it's not hurting you anymore. But I guarantee you that if you sit with yourself, you will see that many parts of you are getting re-wounded and re-traumatized by her each and every time you let her close. And I know you love her in a way. Some of you may be like, no, I don't love her, it's fine. I'm not here to tell you how you're feeling. I'm here to tell you that as children, we have an affinity to love these people, no matter how mean and horrible they are to us. We're really deeply attached to them. And when there's so much abuse, we also trauma bonded, right? The bond is really strong with these people. And we may get angry with them and see their reality and all of that, but that love, it's hard to eradicate it. And that's actually a good thing because you're a person with feelings. And you can hold both truths of she was a monster to me, but there is a part of me, maybe just a young part of me, that sees her and loves her because this part says, that's my mom. And so this part cares that she's sick, that she's not doing well, that she's lonely, that she's throwing tantrums, that she's who she is. But at the same time, what we're doing when we're trying to activate the adult in us, right? We don't just operate from that child trying to save this mother or be close to this mother or be approved by this mother, is that this adult can say, I get it, you love her, but she's not safe for you. And I want to keep you safe from her, and I want to take care of you, and I want to put you in environments with people that are nice to you, and I want you to know that you're loved and that you're worthy and that you're good enough. So I don't think you should be trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother. Not because you're gonna be heartless about what happens to her, or you're gonna eradicate whatever feelings you may have for this woman that birthed you. No matter how angry you are with her, these feelings will possibly continue to stay. And I feel like this is something that's quite confronting to look at, which I don't really speak of it in the beginnings of our healing. And specifically because through what I do, I want you to get in touch, first of all, with your anger. I want you to be angry. I want you to bring up the boundaries. I want you to remember how you were treated so that you're angry enough to create boundaries. I don't want you to get angry enough to hate or try to harm them or whatever. I want you to get angry enough to realize your worth and to set boundaries and to stop tolerating being abused and stop chasing the approval of unapproving parents. But something very interesting that happens through the process of doing our healing work is the ability, eventually, or maybe never, it's not a necessary part of healing, but I've seen it be a consequence of healing, is that once we get angry, once those boundaries are up, once we become an adult, and once we do all this inner child work, we really become almost like a wise adult. Like, we're no longer gaslighting ourselves like, oh, she's a little girl too. But we're able to hold two truths. That this person has harmed us and we're going to stay away from her. But also we hold love for this person. But maybe we won't do anything with that love anymore. We won't try to communicate it or reach out with it. And we can just maybe love her from afar, because being safe is much more important than trying to find connection to her. So I don't think you should be working toward healing the relationship with your mother. My biggest sort of desire when it comes to what I teach and what I do and how I even planned my heal program is I want you to heal the relationship with yourself as a result of having this traumatic relationship with your mother. And the only way we can heal the relationship with ourselves is to give ourselves another go at having a childhood in a way, because we will raise ourselves. And through raising ourselves, we'll bring back all the things that she didn't give to us, like trust, respect, love, compassion, empathy, understanding, right? So each time we revisit younger parts of ourselves, and in Heal, I broke it down in many sessions, but if you've done any inner child work in any capacity, you will see that every time you approach your inner self and your inner children, and you're able to see her as a child, you are becoming a mother to that child. Because we see children, and immediately what the energy that comes up is a mothering, protective energy. That feels almost natural to us. I don't know if it's just our conditioning or our nature, but there's something about seeing a helpless child being treated unfairly that most women would not turn their backs when they see something like that. And imagine not just a stranger child, but imagine when you're doing it with yourself, right? When you're going back to your past. And when you activate that energy of the inner mother, you're giving yourself everything she didn't give you, and slowly building a beautiful relationship within yourself that has nothing to do with the relationship that you had with her. It has nothing to do with the relationship that you've had with yourself so far, which was just a reflection from the relationship that you had with her. So I don't think you should be spending any more time of your life trying to heal this relationship. And as painful as it is, sometimes we can love people and not want to be in active relationships with them. And sometimes we have to choose ourselves over trying to keep peace with certain people that are still harming us. And sometimes it's worth admitting how much they're harming us, no matter how old we are, instead of rationalizing and gaslighting ourselves. So it's okay and we don't mind and it's not that bad. Because you've been denied for things to be identified and validated for what they were your entire life. And my hope is that you don't continue to do that as an adult for the sake of continuing to be attached to people that are harmful to you. And even if these people are your own mother, you deserve to be in safe relationships that are with people that respect you and are kind enough to you, right? They'll make mistakes, you will be hurt, but this whole thing, we're talking about a history of 20, 30, 40, 50 years, 60 years of abuse, and she doesn't look like she's going to stop anytime soon. And if anything, as they grow old, they get worse. And your little heart continues to break. And your sense of worth continues to be attacked. And it's hard to recover. It's almost like you're trying to recover from an injury and you keep going. She hurts you all over again. And you're like, I'm fine. I don't really feel it anymore. So I'm not going to be the one that's going to decide what you need to be doing. But I'm also not going to be the one that's going to lie about trying to get you to forgive someone who, first of all, doesn't even think they've done anything wrong. Second of all, hasn't even apologized. But also, I don't think they have the capacity to enter this thing that you call a healed relationship to them, because that's not something that they're looking for. They're looking for a restoration of the balance. And we all know what happened the first time around when you were submitted to that dynamic. We all know what happened. And maybe it shouldn't be happening anymore. So really, instead of trying to heal the relationship with your narcissistic mother, dedicate your energy and effort to heal a relationship with yourself as a result of what happened with this woman. And if through healing that relationship with yourself, you protect yourself enough, you really and truly take care of yourself, and you think, you know what, I can be in proximity to this woman in such and such way, go for it. But don't go to her to heal with her what she broke, right? You have already realized, and hopefully finally realized, that it's never going to happen, and she won't be the one to heal you from the harm that she inflicted onto you. It's kind of your job now, fortunately or unfortunately. I'll see you soon.